Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do some work on the Discovery 2. So I was just put some lights under the bonnet, for when you break down and you can see what you're doing, because if you're in a Land Rover you're going to break down. And I spotted this. I don't know if you can see it down there, but there seems to be a lot of oil, and that's by my ECU. So I'm guessing it's time to change the injector harness. So that's what we're going to do today. I've got the injector harness on order and the rocker cover gasket. Mine's a 15p engine. As you can see, it's leaking anyway, so definitely time to do a new gasket. And at the same time I might give that a bit of a refurb as well. So the first thing you need to do is, so the pipe which runs, this is the oil, what's it called, the oil breather pipe. Just undo that with some mole grips or some pliers, take that off. A load of 18mm bolts to undo all the way around. So we'll do that first. Just going to give it a quick wipe down, stop any loose bits falling into the engine bay. There you go. Right, I'm just going to leave it down there for a minute. Well, until the injector harness turns up. We'll come back to it next week. Welcome back. So we're on the injector loom again today. So the parts have arrived. Here is the new injector loom. Nice and simple. There's the plug with these are the O-rings that tend to wear down and oil escapes. And then we have our rocker cover gasket. Now this is for a 15p. There is a difference, so if you have anything around about post 2001, you'll have a 15p. Anything prior to that would be a 10p engine. So just make sure you get the correct gasket, because there are differences on them. Right, so to get this injector loom out, you have 5 connectors, one for each injector, because obviously this is a 5-cylinder engine. So you need to undo those, and then down here, you can see down here, this is where the plug comes through the head, and there's a connector underneath. You just need to squeeze the little tabs on the connector, and then you can pull that off, and then this whole piece will lift off. So that's what we're going to do first. I'll take my watch off actually. Just here, there's trying to get that in the way. Push that out of the way. You can probably see better. See, there's a little tab there. Just need to push that in. Same on the other side. Easier said than done. Oh, there you go. That one went. There you go. And you can see there. Look how much oil. I've rubbed it with my hand. Look. So we'll give that a clean up before we put it back on. because what happens is the oil drips all the way down these wires. You can see here, look. So once this new injector loom's on, you've got to wait for the oil to run its course down the wires into the into the ECU end. So you might have to keep cleaning it even though you've replaced this, for a few weeks, months afterwards anyway, at least, and then it should start clearing itself out. Right, so these injectors are just simple push clips. Just push this metal clip in like that. Just show you. Push it in like that, and then you'll be able to pull it off. 2, 3, 4, one on the back, 5. And then you just need to pull this out, push it from underneath. Oh, is that oil or is that blood? Right, just push it from underneath. Oh, there you go. See how easy that came out, and there you go. One very oily injector loom. Right, it's going to give this a nice clean up, and then I'll come back to you. I've just given this connector a nice clean. As you can see there, it looks a lot better. And I've just used some good old electrical cleaner. And you know it's not going to contaminate anything. So I'm just going to let that evaporate a bit. We're not going to put the early again. We're not going to put the rocker cover gasket back on today because the rocker cover has gone to the powder coaters, so that's going to be a few weeks. But we'll put the harness back in, and then I'm going to take the ECU out, which means taking the battery off, taking all this out, getting the ECU out, and getting rid of all the oil in the ECU, in the red plug on the ECU. You have to excuse my voice, I'm just getting over COVID at the moment, so I apologise if I'm a little bit croaky. Now put this back in. Very simple. Just put it in roughly line up. I suggest you put some oil around here, so you've got a bit of a dab of oil. Just coat the O-rings just to give it a little bit of a lubrication, because it should be a nice tight fit, unlike the one I've just taken out. Obviously you can't get these wrong, so just have them so the metal clip is facing towards the passenger side in the UK, and you just clip them on like that. Just check they're all on. Push down. There you go. Just check they're on. Now, let's clean that up a bit. Let's just move that oil. I forgot about that bit. Okay, so this should be a tight fit. And there's like a little key where you have to get right, and then that one went in nice and easy. Right. And then you just need to make sure that this is down like that. You can just move the cables around a bit. But we'll worry about that when we put the cam cover back on anyway. So, and then the last thing to do is just to connect up the connector again. So, just line that up, hold the top, and then push it in. Just make sure. Yeah, that's done. That's it, simple as that. As I say, just make sure that that's resting in there when you come to put the rocker cover back on. Well, I've just taken the ECU out and I wanted to show you how much oil. Look at that. Look how much oil was in there. I mean, I haven't checked this for a good couple of years, I guess, and it's obviously got progressively worse. So, that injector harness was well overdue. So, I'm just going to disconnect this. So, all you do is press on this tab here, and then you pull it out. Just press on this, and then just push it like that. Give it a wiggle. There you go. Look how much oil is in there. I'm going to rest this. Let's get rid of that a minute. Right, so I'm just going to rest this up against the windowsill and then let gravity do its thing. And then I might open the ECU and give it a clean afterwards just to see, depending on how much oil's come out. But let's anyway, I'll go and clean the connector now, so we'll leave that to do its thing. So we'll just remove this white tab, and you can see how oily it is. So give that a clean in a minute. Then say just get some electrical spray. And just dab. Look how bad it is. You can see, I've got this towel here, look, and you can see just how bad it is. I did disconnect the battery though. Obviously, before you take out the ECU, if you have any radio codes, make sure you know the numbers before you disconnect the battery. I don't, and I have dual batteries on here, so make sure you isolate. I've taken the fuse out. And to be honest, the truck wasn't even running bad. I mean, I didn't do this because there was a noticeable noticeable lack of performance or anything like that. It's just, you know, it's just kind of routine maintenance when I'm doing this. But clearly, it's well overdue. Let that soak, and obviously the ECU's got to soak, and we'll come back to that tomorrow. Welcome back. So we're at the stage to put the rocker or the cam cover back on, and this is the tricky little gasket. So you have to make sure that it's completely lined up, and I found the best way to do is to put the little rubber, these things, back in all the way around, and they will then hold the gasket in place. Now the tricky bit is this, because this is right at the back of the engine, and you're not really going to be able to see it. So when it goes back on, you must make sure that this is located correctly, otherwise it's going to leak like a sieve. As you can see there, all nicely, it won't really move. So that's what we're going to do next. Right, when you come to do this, you'll find that that little bump on the back of the gasket, or when you tilt, so there's not a lot of room there between the bulkhead, so when you tilt it to put this in, that little bit of gasket bends backwards and it stops the cam cover going down. So what you have to do is get your hand under here, okay, and just pull it back in, and you'll see it locate in the little in the location place in the top of the head, and then it should sit nice and flush like that. Right, let's put the bolts back in. Right, so they're finger tight. Alright, I'm going to put on the screen now the torque setting for the cam cover. My torque wrench doesn't go that low, so I've just got a 1/4 inch socket and just literally nipped it up all the way around. The gasket's quite thick, so that should do the job of keeping the oil in the engine. So there you go, that's what's done. What do you think of the colour then? Pretty swish. So the ECU is back in, all connected up. I just need to connect up the battery with my new battery connectors, and then we're ready to go for a fire up. And they're finished with my new hoses. Hope you liked the video. Please do subscribe, comment, like, and I'll see you on the next video.